What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dave. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I do new videos all the time on Etsy, e-commerce, and personal success. Today, we're going over some questions in the comment section of this channel. It's hard to get to everybody and message everybody or reply to all the comments. So I just do it in this way, and that's why I like doing these videos, because then you guys can ask more questions. So if you have more questions, please feel free to ask them in this video, and I'll do more videos on these FAQs, and it'll help me to create more content for you guys as well. Also, before we jump into this, if you guys are not on my email list, please do so. I will be releasing new courses, new ebooks coming up this holiday season to help you grow your sales on Etsy. I also send out actionable tips, etc., and exclusive offers. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. I have some questions here from the channel. Let's start with, let's see, got to zoom in so you guys can see these too. Let's see here. Hopefully that is kind of hard to see for you guys maybe. I'll read it out loud, obviously. Okay, so let's start with this one. Hello, great content. Dave, quick questions. Would renewing more often along with my Etsy ads help my Etsy ads in your opinion? I have maxed out the ads and it's been like 4 days thus far. I've gotten sales from the ads, however, I am getting $1 in sales to $2 in ad cost. Will this ratio change from your knowledge over time? Again, I know it's been only a few days and plan to run 30. Just trying to get a heads up before I waste money. So I'm going to answer it in the last question first. If you are seeing a negative ROI right off the bat, then turn those ones off. Turn the listings off that are sucking money. Instead of the 1-to-2 ratio, if it's 2-to-1, then definitely turn those ones off right away, because it's not like the information in your title, tag, and descriptions are going to change at all. The ad algorithm is still going to choose to push your ads based on the information in those 3 sections. So turn those off and then keep watching. So it's good to wait 30 days, but also if there are listings that are aggressively losing you money right off the bat, then turn those off. Definitely turn those off. And then the next question that you had, Rugged Collars, was renewing your listings to help your Etsy ads. I don't believe it will definitely not help you in Google Shopping, in the Google Shopping ads, because their algorithm obviously is not connected to Etsy's search algorithm. It can help your promoted listings, absolutely, because with promoted listings, Etsy's algorithm is looking at a whole lot more factors compared to Google Shopping. Google's algorithm is like, so they're looking at the history of the listing, how new it is, and how many times it's sold, how many times it's gotten a positive review, etc. So yeah, you can try renewing some things, but don't do it like every day, and don't get like crazy with it, because you can just like tap out a listing and just over renew it. That's not Etsy has said this before, and obviously we shouldn't really listen to a ton of things Etsy says unless it's like pretty absolute. But they say a lot of vague tips and stuff like that. And then sometimes if you read between the lines of these vague points of advice they've given out to us over the years, then you can see some truth to it. So they've said that it's not a sustainable, strategy, but it does give your listings a little bit of a boost. So, I mean, yeah, you definitely renew them once in a while, but you don't have to, rely on renewing for that strategy. If something gets really, really old and then you want to renew it and see how it does, see if it comes back or anything like that, that's fine. But if you have a bad listing and you need to renew it to get sales on it, then you should eventually deactivate it and make a copy of it and try something new in the tags and the titles and description. Because if it's not doing well and it needs you to manually renew it and hold its hand in order just to get a sale here and there, that's not the type of listing you want. That's like an employee working at your business that you constantly need to tell what to do. You don't want that. As a business owner, you want, people that will do their job and get it done quick without any interference or little interference or hand holding from you. That's the whole point. Each listing of yours is kind of like a little employee, and it's really satisfying to see listings that, when you go into your listings view and you click that little stats toggle switch in the top right so you can see the 30-day stats underneath each one, it's really satisfying to see, having it say, oh, 15 sales, 15 renewals. That means you never had to renew it, and it got a good amount of sales in, a good amount of time. That good amount of time obviously changing for everybody, but it's really satisfying to see that happen. So, yeah, you can try it, go ahead and renew some, but don't rely on that. Renew like a good like 20 of them, the ones that are in question, and see what happens there. You'll see some stimulation from it for sure. Then also you could try to renew it, based on like the East Coast's time zone. Most of the US population is in the East Coast. So that means EST time. So I would renew it around like anywhere from 7 to 10 p.m. or maybe 6 to 9. And then that way, you'll get more visibility during peak hours and stuff like that. So that's a whole nother topic that you can actually automate renewals for your shop with I'm pretty sure Etsy on Sale does that for you. I don't use Etsy on Sale personally. I know people who do, and that's great. But like I said, you don't want to have to manually hand hold listings and renew and stuff. You want listings that will rank, get sales, convert all on their own, and then create another one of those, create another one of those, create another one of those, and that's how you build a big income for your Etsy over time. So I hope that answers your question, Rugged Collars. We're going to move on to the next one. And everybody, if you're liking this content, please give me a like on this video. It really, really helps me in the it really, really helps me in the YouTube algorithm. So many machine-based brains we have to play with, right? So yeah, please leave me a like on this video. It'll help me with the YouTube algorithm. It'll even help me more if you're subscribed, or if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe and also leave a comment. So I have to click read more on that one, but I'm pretty sure I know which one this is. Okay, so Jennifer, I usually have great feedback for the past month. I've had 3 less than 3-star reviews. One was a repeat customer and never said why he was dissatisfied. That's kind of weird. A repeat customer that's continuously leaving bad feedback. That's really weird. And none of them emailed me first to resolve whatever issue they had before leaving feedback. That sucks. I got a warning email from Etsy mentioning the negative feedback and that suspension of your account can occur due to continuous negative feedback. I'm not sure what time frame they allow for consecutive negative feedbacks for this to occur, but it's so upsetting. This can occur when some of these people who leave negative feedback contact you first mentioning why, or give you an opportunity to resolve whatever issue they are unhappy about. Yeah, I definitely understand this, and I'll have to go into my channel comments real quick to see if I can find what you said and the rest of them. But with negative feedback, like, unless it's a huge amount, like, that's really, really interesting to hear that. Oh, okay, that was all. I found it. And it's really, really interesting to hear that Etsy emailed you, because I've never gotten an email. I've gotten like maybe I don't even know if I've gotten over 5 1-star reviews on my shop that has over 1,000, or I don't even know how many reviews I have right. I think I have 1,400 positive reviews. So it's really, really weird to see that. I'm wondering if your shop is new, and I'm wondering if your shop has gotten a ton of negative feedback in the past, or is this a new thing that Etsy is doing? It's either that your shop is really new and they're really trying to monitor who comes into Etsy, and if they see, negative feedback come through, then that raises a red flag, and then then they email you because they want their customers to be happy, because your customers are their customers too, because you're using the Etsy name, So with negative feedback, if you have a lot of negative feedback, like with my shop having over, thousands of positive reviews, then for me, I don't care at all if somebody leaves a 1-star review. In the past, I would get all heart-wrenched over it, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, the world is ending. Nobody loves me. Nobody likes me. You know how that goes. But you don't need to feel into that. You just move on. I see shops that have like really bad reviews, and they are continuously getting sales. So don't let it eat you alive. Just do your best to improve the customer experience, and improve and fix whatever problems they have. But the main message here is to not let it eat you alive. Continue going about your best business practices and solve the issues that people are experiencing. if and then also another thing that I'm wondering is if the email Etsy mentioning negative feedback and suspension of your account, that could be just straight up phishing. That could be a scam email from people emailing Etsy shops with with like four-star reviews, or like on average 4 stars or something like that, trying to get you your information or your login for Etsy, because then they can use that login in other places, and test it in other common logins, because a lot of people use the same email and password, etc. So they're phishing for email and password sets, so they can go try that on other websites as well, or get into your Etsy, but they can't really do much, because if you change your bank on Etsy, then it gives you an email, etc. Long story short, do not worry about bad feedback. Just fix the issue and make sure. Maybe you think that the issue is not solvable because they're each kind of different and unique in a way, but just zoom out a little bit, ask yourself a bigger picture question, and see if you can, nip this in the bud as quick as possible with bad customer experiences. So thank you, Jennifer. Next question is, hi, Dave. Congrats on your videos and your successful Etsy shop as well. I'm trying to figure out the strategy SB needs to follow on Etsy, and I really can't understand how it should be. I mean, I am an artist. I paint religious icons. It is impossible for me to upload a new item every day. Does this mean it is not going to work? How often are we supposed to list new items, and on what consistency? Another question is, do I harm my shop if I delete some dead listings and maybe change them a little and bring them back to life in a couple of months? Thanks in advance, Chris. You don't have to create a new product every single day. You can create a duplicate. So if you paint things and you can paint that same exact thing very, very similar over and over and over, and if it's considered a product line, then you can create duplicates, and each duplicate that you create each day, obviously don't create a ton of duplicates, but you have other products as well and other product lines. So you can have a few duplicates for each product, and then you can create a new duplicate each day. So when you hear people say like, oh, try to create some new stuff very often, then, it doesn't have to be a new product. All artists can't create a new product every single day. That would be a lot of work. So you're most likely thinking of, just creating some duplicates with different SEO and different tags and titles in order to reach new audiences. How often are we supposed to list new items, and on what consistency? Whatever you're comfortable with, there's a few trains of thought when it comes to this and why you're asking this. Like, a lot of people say, well, I say on this channel very often that, the more listings you have, the more opportunities you have to make sales, and the more, then you'll get more sales. But then obviously saying quality over quantity. You don't want to just spam listings onto Etsy, because then that'll drag your overall conversion rate down and hurt your shop. So no, it does not hurt your shop if you delete dead listings. That actually helps it. You can recreate them and bring them back to life the moment after you deactivate that bad listing. That's what I recommend, actually, because you don't want to lose out on a listing. You don't want to lower your listing amount if you have enough products to get, to have enough listings to make a good amount of sales. So yeah, definitely delete bad listings. I would say deactivate them so you can come back and look at the statistics later. Don't just delete them. But if they haven't sold in over, if they haven't sold in over a month, then that's my rule of thumb, to deactivate them and relist them with new SEO. Maybe try a different thumbnail image, etc. So next question. James, what's up, James? I've watched a lot of your videos, and I'm looking to get Marmalade and redo my Etsy page to be more profitable. But with woodcrafts I make, I can only produce $1,000 and $1,500 worth of saleable items a week. Listening to how much you really need to spend on ads a day, is it even worth me doing ads? Yeah, it can be. And there's only really one way to figure it out, is to actually try. So I would recommend trying it, so that way if it doesn't work, you can say, okay, I tried that. And if it does work, then you're happy, Just always turn off the listings. The biggest mistake right now that every single Etsy, not every single Etsy seller is making, but most Etsy sellers are making right now, is just to not monitor their ad campaign and not shut off the ones that aren't working. That's the only, one of the 2 things we have control of, 3 things we have control of: daily budget, advertised listings, and which ones, daily budget and advertise listings. So if one's not working out, shut it right off. And it's definitely frustrating too if you craft the items. Like most Etsy sellers make this stuff, you know, and so it's really frustrating when we put our time into our goods and then having an Etsy ad not work is pretty much eating our time away too. So it's like, wow, I'm now, even if this does work, I'm gonna make like $10 less profit than if I would have sold it straight up. So that's super annoying because, you know, as a craftsman, you know, it's super frustrating. So I feel your pain, but you need to try and give it a good try. So I hope that answers your question, James. And yeah, definitely get Marmalade and through the link in my description. It will help my channel just a little bit. I get a tiny little commission. It's the only tool I use for Etsy. But do not redo all of your listings. Duplicate your listings and make the new SEO in that. Because if you go and redo your SEO, your titles and tags, that re-ranks you and you lose your existing spots in all the search results. And people see huge drops in sales and views when they go and change everything on their shop. It's a big Etsy mistake, and it happens every day. People do that every day. So everybody, if you liked this video, please leave a comment and ask your questions below. Feel free to check out the links in the description as well. Please join my email list as I am releasing new courses, ebooks, and coaching packages all the time. I have group coaching coming out soon, and I also have 2 new courses coming out this week or next. So please please join my email list to get updates on that, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.